So hello friends, welcome to my channel. So I hope you already watched the first and second session of this video. If not, then please go and watch the first and second part of this video. You can find the link in the description box or go to my channel. So this is the last part of this whole session, how to build a website using Python in 5 minutes. So in this video, I will show you how exactly you can build the website in 5 minutes. So and then in this video we will also go through different free versions of the templates available and then download one of the template, and that we will deploy that on our PyCharm project and then make changes as per our requirement. And also we will be sending data from the browser to our server and storing that data. So this is a very interesting video where you will get a lot of learning. So let's get started. So far, we have learned the basics of Flask. We understand what servers do, and we also know what browsers do. So now let's make our website look impressive. Like this is a very basic website, but that helps to tie different concepts together. But now we will be making a very impressive website that you can use for your business, or can show to your employer, or add it to your resume. That will make you stand out during the interview. And for this, we don't have to write the HTML, CSS, JavaScript that we were writing before. So luckily, if you will Google anywhere, you can find something like lots of free HTML templates. So that's like you can find really nice websites that you can use it for free. And I'll add the link in the description box so you can find it out what works best for you. And for those websites, everything is pre-built. You just need to download it. So let me show you that. So like one of the example is this HTML5up.net. Here there are lots of free websites available. So these are templates. So you can just free download, and then I'll show you that how to use it. But there is like a bunch of free templates available. The same, there is a creativetim.com, and then we have a mashups template. So there is also pretty impressive templates, and then free HTML5.co, and then we have this one. So I'm showing one of the from free HTML5. So this is pretty impressive template. You just download it, and then after that, again there is another one from free HTML5. So we will be using the free CSS from freecss.com. One is KitKinder. So it's basically Kids Learning Center website, and it has lots of different pages also. And so we will be downloading this, and then I'll show you how to configure this in the PyCharm, and then how to make this work using Flask. So I have downloaded the KitKinder template, and it comes in the zip file. So I have unzipped the folder. So this is the folder, and if you want to use the same template, I'll be adding the link in the description box. So if I open this, so this is the file it has HTML files that we already know. It has CSS, it has some images, JavaScript file, some library and mail. We don't require this one, and some bootstrap. So that also we can just add it, but it's not required for now. So what we have to do is we have to move the HTML into our template folder in the PyCharm, and the rest goes into the static. These four HTML, and so let's copy this, and then I can go to my PyCharm, and this is my PyCharm folder for first website. So what I can do is I can remove the old one. So this I will move it to trash, and then I will paste these four templates, and then I have these four also. So let me do one thing. Let me fast forward this video, and then I will jump right away when I have moved all the HTML into the template and rest into the static folder.
So now you can see I have moved all the HTML pages into the template and all the other files into the static folder. So now let's go to our project in the PyCharm and see how it looks. Okay, so here we are on the project. So it's as soon as I come back to my project, you will see all these already populated. So let's run our server. So seems like the server is not running because we are coming back to this project after some time. So let's run our terminal. Okay, so now in order to start our web server, we have to call it export flask app equals to our Python file name. So that is web server. Okay, and then we have to run that in the development mode so that we can see the real-time changes. So this will be equal to development and then our flask.run. Okay, so now it's running on our local host port. Okay, so here is the website that we were building. Doesn't look that pretty. So take a pause and pause the video for some time and think about it, why it is like this. So I hope you get an idea. If not, let's do it together. So always when you run into an issue, let's look at the network first. So we can go to inspect and then look at the network and refresh this page again. Okay, so you can see there is lots of red here, and mostly what is happening here is so it's not able to find the CSS, JavaScript, and all the images, and that's why it's 404 status. So we have to fix this. So let's go to our project again. Okay, so if I'll open the index.html, so let's make this little small. Okay, and then if I look at it, so you can see this is looking directly for image. But as I mentioned, like for the Flask, your all the static component should be in the static folder and all the HTML should be in the template. So what we have to do here is we need to add a static here. So uh, static slash. So this explains the current directory and then the static. So similar way, wherever we see that, so like the same way the CSS, we have to add the static here as well. So quick way is you can use the find and replace option. So for an example, so let's look somewhere the images we have. Okay, so a quick way to look at it, let's say if I'm looking for IMG here, so what I can do here is so command R if you have a Mac, so or you can go to this, so you can go to edit, find and replace. So what you can do here is, so if there is an image, so there are 18 instances here, so what we can do here is slash static slash img, and then let's see if I want to check this one, this is replaced, this is replaced, this is replaced, so we can just do replace R, so that way you can see this is fixed. So similarly you have to go for each and every HTML files and make that change, and not only for images, you have to go for CSS, you have to go for JavaScript. So make that change. I will fast forward this and then I will see you after you make all these changes, and then we will jump right away after making this change and see how the website looks like. Look at this. This is so beautiful. If I scroll, this whole website looks so beautiful with all the data, and then it's running on our local host. And let's check each of the tab, You can see each tab is also working perfectly because we have fixed all the HTML files. Gallery, we have all the images here, and then we have the contact us. So pretty much this website looks so beautiful, and as I promised, it just took us a couple of minutes to build a kids school website having all the details. Similar way you can build any sort of website like for your business, your portfolio to showcase your projects for your job. So just get the template and now you know the whole process how to make the website. So one important thing that I want to cover before closing this video is the contact us, because now when your website is running, we want the people to contact you as well when they visit the page. So currently there is nothing happening here. So what we will be doing here is that when anyone fills this information, the data will come from browser to your server. So in order to do that, we in the Flask documentation, so let's go to the Flask documentation. We have an object called the request object. So let's click on that. And then, so this is the way to get the data from the browser to the server. So let's copy this and we will go to our project. Okay, so in our Python file, we will copy paste the code from the request object. So we don't need all of these because this is for login when anyone logs into the website. So we are not building anything login here. So in case you want to learn that also, please leave the comment in the comment section and I'll make a video on that. So, and if you notice here, I have made this dynamic. So what is happening here is, as I explained in the previous video, you can pass from the URL parameter and read that in your Python file. So I'm just passing the page name, and as soon as if I put index.html, it goes and passes this in the render template and shows that. So that way you don't need to create a method for the functions for each of these template file. So you just create the HTML and it will start working using this generic function. So now let's remove this. We don't need this one. So what we will be doing it, we will change it to submit form. And then these are two methods here. So post is used actually when, so first of all, get is used when browser wants to send information to the server, and post is used when browser want to save the information to the server. So we will be using post here because we are submitting the form and these details we want to store in at our server. So let's change this one also to submit form. Okay, and in the render template, what we can do is, for now, just show thanks for submitting the form. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to go to the form page. Okay, so in the contact HTML, we have to search for the button. So button, and then yeah, here we have the submit button. So in order to send the data from the browser to the server, we have to look for the form tag. So in the button, there should be form tag. Yes, here it is. So the form tag we have to, so it works this way. So in the form tag, it looks for the there is an attribute called action. So that action is actually called, so that the method defined in the action is called when we hit the submit button. So we can define here the method action, and then we can define here submit form, and then we have to define the method. So this method is post, so we can say post. Okay, so now we have defined both the two important attribute missed D here. Okay, the two important attributes. Now let's go back to our Python file. Okay, so what we have to do here is let's get the data. So as soon as it hits, it will call this function. So now we need to read that. So in order to read that, first of all, we need to import one of the class from class. So the class is called request. So request. So now we have to import the request. Okay, and then what we have to do is using the request we can read the data. So we can say if request. Okay, yeah, request dot method is equal to post. Okay, so we can store the data in a variable, and that will be a dictionary because there is a lot of values are coming, so we are storing that in the dictionary, and we can do that using a form method, and then we can say to tick. Okay, now we have this in the data, so let's print that also to get an idea. Okay, and then if there is an error, so we can say else, and we can say return something went wrong, please contact support at xyz@support.com. Okay, so now let's see how this is working. So let me save this and let's go to our website. Okay, so let me refresh this, and now let's open the network as well. So inspect, and then we can go to the network, and let's. Okay, so now fill up some information. So we say XYZ, and then email, blah blah blah, and then subject, and message, and then send. Perfect. Thank you for submitting the form. So let's see what is happening here in the network file. So we have submitted the form, and then the response. Okay, thanks for submitting. We can see the header, and then in the header. Okay, so I think we missed one thing, because when I'm seeing the print data and it's coming as empty, so seems like we missed something in the contact us form. So let's check that, what is happening wrong here. So I'm also doing this real time so that we can learn together, and also it will help you to do some debugging if you run into some errors. So let's see, we have action form. Okay, and we have defined this is the button. Okay, yes, I got it. So what we missed here is we need to define the name attribute in the input tags. So let's define the name here. So I'll name it as this is the first one. So name, and then here I will define it as email. Okay, and then here I can say it's subject. Okay, and then this is the last one, and this one we can define it as name equals to message. Okay, so now it looks good. We have everything here added. Okay, so now let's save this, and let's go back and to our website and check this again, and let's make this little bigger so that we can see the response also. Okay, now I'm in the contact us form, so let's refresh this and let's open the network here and make it a little smaller so that we can submit the form. And now let me put it XYZ, blah 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 blah, and then just send this. Okay, thanks for submitting the form. I'll go to the network here. The form is being submitted. Perfect, I have all the information here, and then we see, got it. So now you can see I have a payload and it's saying that this information is being sent, message and all the details. Now let's go to our PyCharm and look whether we get this data or not. Okay, awesome. Now you can see that we can see the name, email, subject and message. So everything is showing now. So that is awesome. So now let's do one thing. Instead of showing this as a text, what we can do is we can redirect them to the thank you page. So that it looks little pretty also and doesn't break the flow. So what we can do that with, we can create a new thank you page and then we can redirect the user to that page. So let's say if I just make a copy of this, so what I can do here is just copy this one and I can paste it here itself. And I can say thank you. Okay, so now there is a thank you page, and what we can do here is we can just remove the form part because we don't require that. So let's go to the button one. This is the footer me. Okay, end of this. So let's search for form. Okay, so now this is the form, so we can see where exactly this is. Okay, so this one we can just remove this whole section here and now save this, and what we can do is go back to our Python file, and then in order to redirect we have to import another class, so that is, we call it redirect. Okay, and then what we can do here is we can say this one as redirect, and then just we can define our page name slash thankyou.html. Okay, now I'll save this. Okay, so we missed one thing, is writing the thank you message in the thank you HTML. So where we have removed the form, we can add the thank you message also. So I say thanks for contacting us. We will connect with you shortly. Okay, so now let's save this and go to our website. Okay, so here we are. So let's refresh this and let me fill some information here and let's send this. Okay, so now it is visible over here, so you can place it wherever you like. You can search the element and then go to the div statement and add this message in the on the thank you HTML page. So let's go to the PyCharm now. Okay, so now let's look at here. So you can see the information that we entered is coming here. But one thing is we are not saving this information anywhere. So as you learned a lot, like how to make the website using PyCharm, and I think now you have the good understanding of the concept. So there is a small homework for you, that
please save this information in some text or a CSV file. I prefer a CSV file, so I'll give you a little hint that how you can do that. And you can, if you run in any problem, just add that comment in the comment section and I'll respond to that. So you can just create a database.csv file, like you can name anything and then go to the server. So currently we are printing this data, but instead of printing, we will write that in the CSV. So how to do that? Let me show you a sample code. So you can go to the document Python documentation and then search for CSV, import CSV. So in that import CSV, this is a CSV writer. So what you can do is import the CSV, and with open you can give the same database.csv, whatever the name of the file you want to, and then give the write. This is mode as a write, and then the new line, so that the entered value will go to the new line. And then what you can do is just as a parameter it is saved, and then you can just csv.writer and give the parameter name, and then the delimiter here it is a comma because the values are separated by comma, and quote character you can give double quotes, and then this is, so you can go through this documentation and read more about it to get some information. So this is more of a self-learning that will help you to go through the document and then read more about it, and so that way you can write whatever the data is coming into the CSV and then store that information in your local. So this concludes this whole session, how to make website using Python. But an important note here is now my server and database are running in my local machine, and if I close this, then my website will stop running. So in the next video I will show you how we can deploy this website to a free web hosting service. I'm talking about free, so that your website will be always up and running. You can share the link to any of your employer, your friends, or for your business colleagues, or anyone, so that way you have a full-fledged running website on a web hosting server. It's not running in a local, and that will run 24 hours. So this is all about how to run the website with Python. So for the deploying the website, please go to my channel and look for that video, and please subscribe to this channel, as it gives me a signal that you guys are learning something from my video and want to learn more and more. And thanks for watching this video.